read it to you. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and for. Do we have that verse? No? Okay. Let's say it together then. See if you can hold on to it. I know I've said it twice. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. See, you got it. You didn't need it up there. Hold on to that verse. That verse says a lot about the things that each of us worry about every day of our lives. And we don't have to. But we do, if we're all going to be honest. But we need to work on this. So, introduction is this: the unchanging anchor in an ever-changing world, because that's where we live. The world is constantly changing. We are changing. I used to be 6'2" and 194 pounds in high school. And I shrunk. No, I was 194 pounds. I wasn't 6'2". But you know what? Everything around us changes. So it's important that we know where our anchor belongs. So I want you to imagine this story. It's a shifting shoreline. Now, I had some original plans, but I didn't have time to pull it off. I had planned on bringing a baby pool up here, you know, those little kid pools, and filling it with sand, and then bringing a hose from somewhere around the church and doing some stuff, but I know Debbie would have shot me, so I decided not to do it. Imagine standing on a beach, watching the waves erode the sand beneath your feet, feeling it. You don't even have to watch it. You can just stand there. You've all gone to the edge of the water and the rip tides and everything's moving pretty good, and you're standing there and all of a sudden you feel like you're moving, right? It's an uncomfortable feeling. No matter how firm you think you're standing, the ground still shifts underneath you and you can't stop it. Life feels like that sometimes. Constant change, instability, uncertainty, but there's one rock that never moves. And what is that rock? Jesus Christ. It's critical that that's where we stand. Because you can do all the things you want to do to firm up the foundation around you, but ain't nothing good enough. Ain't nothing perfect enough but Jesus Christ. So today, let's explore how Jesus is the same yesterday, today, tomorrow, forever. And we also need to know why that changes everything. So let's look at yesterday first. Yesterday, the faithfulness of God. Scripture is Lamentations 3:22-23. His mercies never come to an end. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. The illustration I want to use for that is the Red Sea versus your life. How many of you watched the movie The 10 Commandments? Raise your hand high if you've watched it. Great movie, right? Pretty old movie, but I think one of the most expensive movies comparatively, money spent on making that movie. Now raise your hands again if you see it. I want to just look at this for a second. You haven't? Yeah, have you seen it? Yeah, good. Okay. Now, I want you all to turn around and look up into the sound booth. Wave out to us. Come on. I said to her, "You've never seen this movie? You've never heard of it?" She goes, "No." I said, "You've got to watch this movie." You've never watched it either? Oh, well, that's true. Okay. That's a good way to get out of this one. You know, it's a fantastic movie. I'm not saying it's perfect, you know, down to every detail, but it's fairly good. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I said to Kayla, I said, Cecil B. DeMille. She goes, "Who?" You know. But in that movie, they do I don't know how they do it, but they show the scene. Remember, the Pharaoh and his armies chasing the Israelites, and they get to the shores of the Red Sea, and they think, "Oh man, this is it. We're going to be toast." Right? And then what does God do? Splits the Red Sea. And in the movie, all you can see is it looks like the water comes in and goes straight up. And there's this channel of dry land. Now, I use the word dry land. They wouldn't have been able to get through. This is another thing I had planned on doing. I didn't get around to. I was going to go out back of my canal at where we live. Not my canal, the canal where we live. And I had a clear jug, and I was going to scoop up muck. Yeah, and then I was going to have one of you come up here and put your hand in it. But I knew this isn't youth group, so I didn't. Muck. I mean, you try walking across a canal or water, like maybe the Red Sea. I've never been there, so I don't know. You're going to sink in at least a foot, especially in our canals, because I've gone in by accident already, and it was hard to get out. It was dry. How could God do that? If I stood out there with a hairdryer for 2 days, it would still be muck. But God separated the water. The Israelites went across, and then what happened? What? Yep, he collapsed the sea. On who? Yeah, right. So God did all that. The Israelites watched it happen. And then what happened with the Israelites? Boy, you're a nice person. What else did they do? Whether before or after, it doesn't matter. There we go. What was it? Complaining, grumbling. They saw God provide everything that they needed. He rescued them. He saved them. And what did they do? They complained. They complained. The one I like to talk about, we talked about a little bit yesterday in the new members class, is they were hungry. So what did God do? Gave them manna. Now, Pastor Ron, you said manna, it looks like...
Oh, yeah, it looks like frosted flakes.
Frosted flakes. Yeah. I don't think it probably tasted like frosted flakes.
And the tiger didn't.
Yeah, no tiger came. And they complained about the manna. They wanted something better. I like to say they wanted banana bread for banana bread. Get it? Or manna burgers. Or something else. That's from Keith Green. If any of you want to listen to Keith Green, you can get that song. So, wouldn't you trust God forever if he did all those things in front of you? I'm asking you. Be honest. You should. Seeing is believing. But would you? Yes. We do have a short memory. And even in spite of that, I'm going to be really honest, which I usually am, except for about being 6'2", right? There's moments that I just seem to forget all that he's done for me, because my faith in those particular moments is centered on me. And that can be a problem. So you can say, geez, if I'd have seen that, what Chuck, what did you say? Seeing is believing, right? Even when we see God doing all these things in our lives, we still forget, don't we?
Short-term memory.
Yeah, we forget. And we grumble. And yet, even in that, God still loves us. Even in our dishonoring of him, our disobedience, our thinking about ourselves, whatever the case may be. It's just crazy how quickly we can forget, and yet how wonderful that He doesn't forget us. God has already done some amazing things, and He will continue to do amazing things. But you've got the proof of yesterday. So what has God already done in your life? Well, what's the first thing that He did? Sent His Son, and His Son did what? Died for us. Yeah. He provided when you had nothing, possibly in your life. He's been with you through the pain of discomfort, hurt, whatever the pain may be. He is there. He's been there in the past. He answered prayers you didn't think He would. Now, I can already imagine what you might be thinking. I know I've thought this. I've asked for something and it didn't seem like God answered it. But He did. He really did. You see, and I'm sure you've heard this, sometimes His answer is yes. And that feels great, doesn't it? Sometimes He answers not yet, because the timing isn't right. Because we don't control time. He does. And sometimes, and this can be hard, sometimes He says no. Sometimes He says, I love you too much. The answer is no. But whatever the answer is, He is faithful. He's been faithful. He was faithful to you yesterday. Let's look at today. The presence of Christ in this moment. Scripture is Matthew 28:20. Beginning of it says, I am with you always. Does it say sometimes? Always. Say it with me. Always. One more time. Always. If we had some kids in this service this morning, I would have done this illustration. You'll just have to imagine it. A little kid is with his mom or his dad. And he's walking confidently, like kids can, or kids can be really timid. But he's walking confidently, not because he has any clue where he's going in that crowd, but why? Anybody?
Because he's following his dad.
He's holding on to his mom or his dad's hand. So he doesn't have to know where he's going to. Although as kids, we always want to know where we're going. But he doesn't have to worry about it. We don't need to have everything figured out. We just need to know who we're walking with and who's holding your hand. And when I say holding your hand, I'm saying holding your heart. Because He, Jesus, is holding your hand, your heart, your soul. And He wants nothing but the very best for you. Jesus isn't just a historical figure. He's far more than that. He's not just a future promise. He is, but He's not just that. He's with you right here, right now, in this very room. In your struggles, in your doubts, in your loneliness, whatever. You know what? He's also here in the good times for you and in the good things. I guess it's the human condition. When things seem to be great, we tend to not really think as much about him being right with us. But when things are bad, it's always his fault. And that's not true. But that's what Satan wants us to believe. God, why didn't you do this? Why? No. We have a responsibility. But God was with us yesterday, and he's with us today. So, one of the problems that exists in this illustration, if the little child leaves go of his mom or his dad's hand, what can happen? You can walk away and get lost, start crying, right? What's that? Feel alone. So the problem isn't God letting go of our hands. The problem is sometimes we let go of his. Right? If we're willing to be honest, we let go of his. So he was faithful yesterday. He is faithful today. What about tomorrow? Trusting God with the unknown. Scriptures is Matthew 6:34. What does it say? Is it up there? Say it again louder, together. Yeah. Now, I confess to you, that is easier said than done. If I'm willing to be completely honest, it is difficult, but it doesn't mean it's not our responsibility. And it doesn't mean that as we practice it that we don't improve at that. We need to do that. Do not worry about tomorrow. Now, I'm looking around the room, and I was going to do something, but I don't think I will. Do you? Was that you, Chuck? Oh, boy, I'm tempted now, Chuck. Here's what I was going to do. I was going to have someone come up here. I asked Pastor Allen the other day, I said, would this be sacrilegious if I did this? And he said, well, I'm not doing it, so I don't care. But he said, Chuck will. Chuck, come on up. Let's have some fun. Come on up here for a minute, okay? Yeah, come on. You. Yeah, there actually is, but it's locked. No, it's not. How's your balance?
It's okay right now unless you knock me over.
Pretty good? No,
Yeah.
I'd never do that
No,
to you.
What?
Okay. I want you to do something, and I'm going to be your guide.
Okay.
Pretend I'm Jesus. I know that's hard to do.
Right.
I'll take your hand.
Okay.
I want you to climb up here on this altar railing. I got you, man.
I'm serious. I don't.
You what?
I don't have the knees for it. Oh my God.
Okay.
Right.
Now,
I can bounce.
well, I'm not letting you go anyway
I'm jumping.
because I'm God. I'm holding on to your hand.
Okay.
He's walking all the way across
On air.
on air. Okay. Come on
Let me
down.
jump.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
How's
See-
that, guy?
Yeah, give him a hand.
Next week it's on the water.
Yeah.
That's your turn.
Now, if he took his eyes off the rail, and if I didn't hold his hand, although he got pretty confident, he was ready to do it without me holding his hand. If all those things, if he would have been looking ahead saying, oh man, I'm gonna fall, something's gonna happen, he would. But because we're to keep our eyes right in front of us and hold on to the guide, being Jesus Christ, and not be worrying about tomorrow and allowing him to have control, we can do anything. But when we take our eyes off of Jesus and we start going ahead of Jesus and thinking that we know what's best, that's when we fail. Every single one of us. There was a tightrope walker, was it Walenda? who died not too many years ago, an expert, and yet he still fell to his death. Done it many, many times. Now, I don't know the whole story, and I'm not comparing it in the sense of he took his eyes off Jesus, but that's what we need to do. Our eyes need to be on Jesus in everything we do. And if we can do that, we don't need to worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself. Always, always, always your eyes on Jesus. Always in your life pointing to Jesus in everything you say, in everything you do. We're all guilty of not doing that. Sometimes we let life become about us. It's not the answer. It's not the answer. You don't need to know everything will work out. You just need to take the next step and have faith in what Jesus is going to do, because he's going to be there for you. He's promised that. He promised it yesterday. He promised it today. He's promising it tomorrow. And he's promising it forever. So let's take a look at forever. The eternal hope that we have in Christ. Oh, by the way, you can be grateful. You're going to get out of here probably before 9. How about that? Yeah, that's the ongoing saying, right? If Pastor Ed's preaching, you're going to get done either 9 or a little before. Thanks, Marge. So, number 4. Hello, Sue. Are you coming up here? Is this a surprise, or you're just sitting down? You know the crazy thing about this? She's walking in right in the sermon where I'm going to be saying something about her that I thought I could get away with, that I won't be able to. Yeah. 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 So this section is about forever. The eternal hope that we each have in Christ. Scripture, Revelations 21:4, he will wipe every tear from their eyes. Pastor Aaron, you want to say it again since I'm going to get it?
Once she gets done with him, Jesus will wipe the tears out of his eyes.
Here's the illustration, and this is Sue. I just can't believe you walked in right now. It's just amazing. Yeah. Well, you were going to get it in the second service anyway, but that's okay. Think about a great book or a movie. Now, if I'm at the church or maybe out fishing or doing something, and I come in the evening, or I'm away in Pennsylvania and I come home in the evening, and Sue's sitting on the sofa, and she has the TV on, and it's tuned to a channel. And it's either going to be, well, I'm going to use this one because it's the one that drives me the craziest. The Hallmark Channel is on. Oh, the Hallmark Channel. How I love thee. You know, the crazy thing about the Hallmark Channel, well, it used to be, I think it's changing, but it used to be, it was going to be some sappy movie, which I'm just saying that for fun, that has some sort of romance, and in the end, I mean, I can sit there down with her 10 minutes into the movie and say, this person's going to end up with this person, that person's going to do this person's about to die but going to be saved at the last second, and everybody lives happily ever after, right? I mean, that's a typical Hallmark movie, or was. I don't know if it's still the same. It still is? Hold on, folks. I'm going to climb up on the altar. Yeah, I mean, And she loves them. And that's great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm like, you know. Some people like to watch movies that they don't know that scare them because they like that exhilaration. Some people like stories that they know exactly how it's going to end. When you watch a tough movie and you know there's going to be, it's not a Hallmark movie, you know there's going to be something sad. You want to kind of rush through that part of the movie, fast forward, and get to the good part because we want everything to be good. But if you think about that, if you know the ending is good, you can handle the difficult parts in the middle. Right? So why can't we look at God that way? Yeah, you're going through a tough time. It's not easy. But you know the ending of the story, don't you? If you know the ending of the story, you know that we win. If you don't know the story and you don't have that relationship, you may not know. And you have a right to be scared. But we know how the story ends. No more pain from your physical body, no more fear of the unknown, just an eternity with Jesus. I don't know about you. I want to spend some time here yet. I'm not going to deny that. But I can't wait to be 6'4" and 187. The end of the story is very, very good. So, if we know that, and I'm saying as believers, we should know that. Why do we live like we're afraid? We do, right? I mean, is there anyone here that's saying they never do that? Probably not. Why do we live like we're afraid? Why do we cling to this life like this is all there is? Because it's what we know, what we see, the human side of us. Faith is important. We need to hold on to that. So, in conclusion, see, I'm doing good. It's only 8:50, folks. By the way, just for the, I'm going to be honest, I cheat. I keep one up here with me. Yeah. Think of a boat in a storm. What in a storm, if you're on the boat now, today it's a lot easier because you've got the electronic devices to figure out where the weather's coming from and all that. But if you didn't have that, what did they do during storms on boats? Let's say in the 1800s. What did they do? The storm comes up, what do they do, you know? If they have time. Hunker down. Which means, what's that? Check the stars, if there are any. If jettison the load. Say that louder, George. They anchor. They anchor, or they try to get into a cove and then anchor, but they anchor. So, if that's the answer, to be anchored, where's your anchor? What are you anchored to? Now, if I wouldn't have been lazy, I'd have gotten the other anchor out. But I didn't have that. So, yeah, I know. So, where am I anchored? Am I anchored Come on up here, PA. Yeah. Yeah.
Remember, I'm old.
Yeah. We all love this guy, don't we?
You always.
That wasn't, come on. We all love this guy, don't we? All right.
Why am I thinking of that song? You always hurt the one you love.
Yeah. If I'm anchored to him, as great a guy as he is, what's going to happen? I'm going to what? He could pull, yeah, we could pull down together. Eventually, he's going to make a mistake, or he's not going to be here.
No, not it will be strong enough.
What's that?
Not going to be strong.
Not going to be strong enough.
Yeah.
I can't, as much as I love him and as much as he is good for this church, that can't be where my anchor is.
Not at all.
And you know, when I first got here, that's what he made really clear to me, that one of his biggest concerns is he wants you to be focused on Jesus.
Right. Absolutely.
Not on him. That's what he wants. And that's true for all of us. Okay, I'll let you get it. But I do like this picture. Somebody want to take a picture? We'll send it to his wife.
I'm going to make sure Art's not here. I'm just glad it didn't stick around.
Yeah, give him a hand. Thank you. I thought about a noose, but... Where's your anchor? Hebrews 13:8 says this. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. We said it before. Yesterday, he was faithful. Today, he's holding your hand. Tomorrow, he's already there. And forever, he's your hope. So, your question to deal with. What's keeping you from trusting him completely? I hope we're gonna have a song next. It's called Today, Tomorrow, Forever by Sanctus Real. It's a great song. And it fits perfect. He wrote it just for me. No. This needs to be our response, and this is going to be our closing. So if you would stand with me, and remember, this is your response to Jesus. Today, tomorrow, forever.